Hello, it's Dr. Vic here with this week's Ask Me Anything. And this week, actually, it's not quite an Ask Me Anything. It's a me offering some thoughts in relation to a theme that is showing up a lot for my clients at the moment. Um, so, the question that we've kind of constructed from the different themes that people have been raising is how do I stop self-doubt from sabotaging me every time I'm ready to grow or take the next big step? And this is the reality of change work, self-development, and transformation is that typically, just as we get to that point where we're going to do the thing, take the leap, make the exciting change, all of the fears rush in. We doubt ourselves, we doubt what's possible, we struggle to believe that it's doable, and we kind of get stuck in our tracks. So, there's a few principles here that can really help with this. The first thing is to understand that anytime we're doing something new, we are putting a little tax on our nervous system. And a lot of that fear and doubt that comes up is our nervous system kind of saying, no, stay safe, don't go there, because it's wired to keep us in survival mode that way. So the goal is not really to eliminate that. That's a standard part of being human. The goal is to be able to move even with that self-doubt present. So the first thing you can do that will really, really help you is to develop strategies to regulate your nervous system. So for me, one of the most effective strategies, and science validates this, is to shut my mouth, breathe through my nose a little bit more slowly and deeply. You can try it now if you want with me. 2 or 3 deep, slow nose breaths help us feel immediately calmer. Let's do it together. I feel a lot calmer all of a sudden. What this does is signal to our nervous system that we are safe. And that allows us to keep moving, even though our head might be saying, caution, caution. It also actually reduces the degree to which our system is saying, caution, caution. So, regulating our nervous system, there are other ways you can do it. Breath work isn't for everyone. You can, for example, put your hand on your heart, see if you can feel your heartbeat. That's nice. You can touch your finger and thumb together and really focus your attention on the sensation of your finger touching your thumb. See if you can feel the ridges of your fingerprint. So these regulation strategies just help us manage that stretch sensation a little bit better. The other thing is to reframe it. If that self-doubt is in, it must mean I'm in my stretch zone, doing something interesting and new that's taking me towards my future. So rather than it feeling like, oh, I'm not sure, it feels like, this is a sign that I'm in stretch zone. That's okay. So the goal isn't to eliminate it, it's to regulate the nervous system and be able to keep moving forward. The other thing we can do is engage a little bit with the thoughts. So typically, the doubts that come in sound like, what if this happens? What if that happens? What if it all goes horribly wrong? What if downs? So, a really great game to play is the what if up game as a counterpoint to all those doubts that surface. What if they love me? What if it goes brilliantly? What if I become a millionaire? What if I win the prize? What if, you know, I win an award? What if, right? We are so habituated into what if the worst happens. Deliberately asking yourself, what if up? What if the best happens? Is a very, very effective counterpoint to that. So regulating your nervous system, playing the what if up game, and if you need to, make the leap a little bit smaller. Just take a slightly more smaller step, baby step it. If you really feel dysregulated by those doubts and fears, see if you can just make it a bit smaller to make it more manageable for you. But generally, if you can do the head stuff, what if up instead of what if down, and the body and energy stuff, breathing, regulating, feeling okay, and knowing that doubting yourself is an inevitable consequence of stepping into new, exciting, brave spaces that you haven't been in before, then generally what you're going to learn is that I can do it and I will survive it, and that will gradually build you increasing amounts of proof that you can handle that stretch and that your doubts are unfounded, even though they might flow in naturally. So I hope that's helpful. How to keep moving and stop sabotaging yourself even when the self-doubt is in. Let me know what you get from this. Let me know of any subsequent or follow-on questions that this brings up for you, and I'll pick that up in a future Ask Me Anything. And remember, you can ask me anything, and I will do my best to answer it in a video like this once a week. So put your ideas forward, and I'll also, for anyone whose question gets selected, send out my 100 Ways to Raise Your Vibration ebook, which is lovely and great fun. So double bonus, you get your question answered and you get 100 ways to raise your vibration. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.